Yo, what's going on, guys? So, I'm sure a lot of people who have Netflix probably tuned into this fight with Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua last night. And as everyone clearly seen, Joshua broke Jake Paul's jaw, right? It's all over the news and social media outlets, Twitter especially. So I'm over here looking, and I seen this on my timeline. I don't follow Jake Paul, but, I've been actively posting about, gematria, numerology stuff related to this whole broken jaw thing. And so I'm scrolling on his page, and I see this one thing that says I was paid to lose. So, I just pretty much responded to the guy, and I was like, this is what I seen with the gematria stuff. And feel free to follow me if you want. It's, Steven Universe, whatever, as you can see, my handle, whatever, spelled with the 3s and the 33, whatever. But what I want to show you is my page and how I've been actively covering this. And again, whether it was rigged or not rigged or whatever, that's up for debate. But just to make it kind of like simple, I just want to show you guys a few things. So it was 29 days before Jake Paul's birthday, and Anthony Joshua picks up his 29th win. So he went into this fight last night with 28 wins and 25 knockouts. So he obviously won, picking up his 29th win and his 26th knockout. So just doing a little bit of research, you can clearly see that Jake Paul was born on January 17th. And again, measuring from yesterday's date, because today here in the United States, or where I'm at, is Saturday, which is December 20th. So from yesterday to Jake Paul's upcoming birthday, which is January 17th, 2026, is a span of 29 days, right? 29 days. Okay, now look, using gematria, knockout 29, right? And, you can go on my page and look at all this stuff. I asked ChatGPT, what's the significance of measuring from a person's birthday to an event or, things like that. There's all types of information that you guys can find that I really don't have time to, make a big video on YouTube for. So feel free to follow the page, which is great because there's a lot of great information. There's a lot of smart people on the internet who are piecing a lot of this stuff together. But, he made a comment. He was like, I got paid $90 million to break my jaw. And, like 50,000 people liked the post or whatever. But I'm also actively sharing Zach's book online just to try to, get people to kind of see what's going on. And again, a lot of people are just kind of retarded. And that's fine. You want to be retarded, be retarded. Nothing can be done with that. So I am sharing a lot of Zach's work because this is who I learned from. And, once upon a time, I was a skeptical person. And now here we are on YouTube with 1,240-something followers. How many of these people are bots or trolls or interested in, numerology, gematria? I don't know. I don't care either, really. But that's neither here or there. So a few other interesting things, though, being that he went into the fight with 25 knockouts. Now look at this, right? Check this out. When you spell out the guy's full name, Anthony, I don't want to butcher this. His middle name, middle name, and then last name. It equates to 351, which is the 26th triangular number. And he picked up his 26th knockout last night. And again, like we talk about on these channels and StreamYard and all that stuff, what is the probability of all this stuff? And, a lot of people think these connections are arbitrary. Oh, no, sports can't be rigged. Oh, my God, you're schizophrenic. I mean, again, I don't think it's any of that stuff, but, you can't really argue with stupid. You can't fix stupid. And, the classic example that I've been posting is, you know, basically Anthony Joshua equates to broken jaw. And also, I took an IQ test last night. I was a little fucked up on some tequila, and I still scored a 121. So I'm pretty sure I'm like a 130 plus. So that is what it is. And oddly enough, my certificate ID equates to 33, which is great. You know, it's lovely, isn't it? So feel free to follow my Twitter page if this is something that interests you. And again, you know, I just let people know, you know, like, learn to listen to smart people. You know, we know what we're talking about. And again, you know, this is very telling. My IQ is yet higher than 89% of the United States, and I'm top 5% in logic so far. That's crazy, right? And mind you, I had a few shots of tequila and I did this. So I could only imagine if I was straight as an arrow, I'd probably be like 125 or something like that. Maybe even 130. I might have scored a perfect score. I don't know. It won't let me take the test again. So anyways, I'm just putting this out there. You know, I mean, you know, people are going to believe what they're going to believe about gematria and stuff like that. You know, I actively post all this stuff. I mean, I don't get a lot of views because obviously they're probably, I mean, there's only so many things that could be happening. People are probably scared of this stuff, or they just think it's all bullshit, or whoever's controlling whatever, they just don't want this information out there, I guess. I don't know. But I even did a thing about the brown shooter. You know, I'll scroll down and just show you real quick. You know, Claudio Valente equates to Brown University. Isn't that kind of interesting? You know? And I live in Rhode Island, so, you know, a lot of people who follow my channel for any number of years, or however long I've had this channel open for, they know, you know, whatever. They know this about me. And again, you know, I'm actively posting not just Zach's work, but, like, you know, things that back it up, you know, which is, you know, here's a reference, Manly P. Hall's thing, you know, fucking Zach's work. I'm also posting, let's see. I'm trying to make this video quick because I know people's attention spans are short. I mean, I have a mixed mash of stuff. It's not just gematria. So, what else? There's a few things on here. I mean, I post a lot about gematria now and, you know, cryptocurrencies related topics. Like this, for instance. This is a perfect example. Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3. There's songs about it. You know, gematria, the killing name by Slipknot. I mean, at what point is all this stuff gonna be considered a coincidence, right? And again, you know, if that's your belief, that's great. You know, I mean, if you truly believe that wholeheartedly, I mean, you know, go for it. You know, but you know, I don't particularly think it is after studying this stuff for over 10 years. But yeah, this is my Twitter page if you want to follow it. And just keep up with have an upbeat look on, you know, what I'm doing and whatever, if this stuff is interesting to you. And again, you know, while I'm on the topic over here of gematria, you know, a lot of people in the XRP community, you know, I guess I could do a separate video on this, but the point is Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, and, you know, the original Ripple entity, which was known as OpenCoin, they all have this numerical value. Brad Garlinghouse 271, 193 for David Schwartz, OpenCoin 125. You add it all together, 589. So that's like a meme that's going on and a pattern that we see in XRP. And again, you know, so I tag people. I mean, I don't get a whole lot of responses. I don't know if it's because people are just, you know, dummies or if it's just not reaching people. I'm not sure. I mean, it's a little bit of everything probably. But yeah, you know, feel free to follow this stuff. There's a lot of good information out there. A lot of smart people, including myself, who do the research so you can see videos like this, and you don't have to consume your day. You know, if you just have eyes to see and ears to hear, I mean, just keep an open mind, man, you know. Look at things in an objective way, and, you know, whatever. But, yeah, that's that, you know. Do you want to follow me? Follow me. If not, that's fine, too. I don't care. It don't really make or break me. I mean, I'm just trying to help people out a little bit. But I did want to jump on here about the whole Logan Paul, not Logan Paul, his brother Jake or whatever. And, you know, I responded to him. I mean, whether, you know, I mean, he probably isn't going to respond back because, you know, it's like, you know, well, what are you going to say to that type of stuff? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, oh, what are you going to call me, schizophrenic or autistic or something? I mean, it very well may be. I may have that, you know, touch of autism. You know, I might be on the higher functioning end of the spectrum. I don't know. I think I probably am, but I mean, again, I also think that's not why I'm seeing the numbers either, though. I don't think I'm connecting all these things loosely because of having a touch of autism or whatever. But you know, I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research. And, you know, I just want to jump on here and give people quality content that could possibly help them open their eyes to the Matrix. And, you know, I mean, again, you know, come to your own conclusions. I'm not here to try to, you know, convince anybody, really. I mean, I make these videos just to document my journey with numerology and gematria and things like that. So I feel like a lot of this stuff is rigged. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you know gematria and stuff and you see connections like that. And you see things like this. You see things like, you know, all these like these symbolic things, you know. Nebuchadnezzar and, you know, again, you know, Renaissance poses. I mean, some of this stuff could be coincidental, you know, but I'm pretty sure a good 90% of it isn't. And, you know, I mean, who's to say, you know? I mean, again, maybe he didn't get paid to get his jaw broken, but what are the odds? What's the probability of that happening and then the numbers lining up and X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? So, again, you know, wanted to make this post for you guys who follow the account. I'm not like actively posting on YouTube all the time. I've kind of like reduced it to creating videos that I think are interesting. You know, they're random things, you know, random videos. They're not really like, but if you really want daily content, you need to go follow Gematria Effect News. And yeah, the guy's named Zachary Hubbard, and he's very intelligent. He's written 2 books. I've read the first one, Letters and Numbers, and briefly read the second one, Number Games. But I have both of them on my phone over here, on my hard drive on my phone or whatever. So if you're looking for answers and things like that, you need to go follow this guy and, you know, follow him for about a year or 2 before you actually come to an actual conclusion. Don't just watch a video and come to a conclusion, because there's a lot of overwhelming information that gets thrown at you when you first watch a video like that. And it can deter you from the actual path that you should be on, in my opinion. So again, there's going to be a lot of people who think this is bullshit, a coincidence. And again, the one thing I can truly say is, you know, just like, you know, the CIA created that term, coincidence, or what is it, conspiracy theory. Well, think about it. Think about how language works. Coincidence. You know, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Things can coincide, right? 2 things can happen at the same time. But, you know, when you add that little extra, couple of letters or whatever at the end of it, it becomes a coincidence. See, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe things can coincide. Now, whether it's rigged or it's, you know, organically happening, I don't I mean, again, I'm more leaning towards like the 80-20, 80% rigged, 20% of it can be organic, but I've seen it enough. And I mean, I don't benefit from getting on YouTube and taking 10 minutes out of my day to try to lie to people. So I'm hoping somewhere along the line it helps somebody. But if you understood this knowledge last night, you probably could have put like, $100 on Anthony Joshua or something, or $1,000 on Anthony Joshua. And again, his full name, 351, the 26th prime, or the 26th triangular number. He picks up his 26th knockout, 29 days before Jake Paul's birthday. I mean, again, there's a lot of this all the time in sports. So again, the real question is you got to ask yourself how much of it's organic and how much of it is inorganic. And again, all this stuff is answered in Zach's book. And I really love this subject a lot because there's not really a lot of people who want to debate about this type of stuff or are willing to talk about it. So, you have to have those glitches in the matrix. You have to have people like us to educate you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you dumb for not understanding it or never being presented the knowledge. So, but you should always try to keep an open mind with anything in life. And you should always try to be eager to learn more than what you know. And I'll leave it at that. That's about it. So, yeah, I mean, if you enjoy this type of content, you can follow my Twitter. You can subscribe to the channel. I mean, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, have a good rest of your day. Enjoy your Saturday. And I'll see you in the next one.